Are you trying to start your own ground transportation business, but because of your poor credit, you can't get a car loan? In this interview, I sit down with an operator that was in exactly that position. He had poor credit, he wasn't able to get a loan, and he used something that I wasn't even aware that existed that ended up getting him a loan, and he was able to purchase his first car. And that was a few months ago, and he's already bought his second, and his business is growing rapidly. If that's you, check out this interview because I guarantee it's going to help. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mark, the Limo marketer, and I'm here again with Julio Cabrera from Tampa Premier Car Service.
Yeah.
Thanks for hopping on again, Julio.
Yeah, no problem, Mark. How's it going?
Good, good. So anyways, Julio and I talked, I think a month or two ago now. So you can look back at that interview. It was really good about how we met, how he started, using Limo Marketer, how he came from Uber, and Julio's had a ton of success in Tampa. And we got to talking, and he mentioned something that I was not aware is such a big problem with operators that want to go from Uber Premier, Uber Black to their own limo business. And what he mentioned is financing. That's a big problem that he had said. It was you and several of your friends that had that issue. And so I thought it would be valuable for us to kind of talk about that. And so, Julio, so tell us all about it. It's called, was it Square Loans that you used?
Yeah, so when I first started doing private clients, I had a client of mine tell me to start if they could pay with a credit card because it's business. So I told him, oh, I don't know how to do that. So he told me about Square. So I went to a Best Buy and I bought a Square reader, card reader, and I set up my account with Square. I did my LLC and all that. So I've been doing Square for a year and a half now. And what Square does, once you hit about $10,000 in sales, they offer you a loan without credit check because my credit was horrible. So they basically offer you loans from the process that you're doing, like the transactions that are coming through. So depending on how many transactions and the amount of transactions that you're having, they will give you a loan. They start you out slow, then they'll double it, and then they'll give you more and stuff like that. So one of my biggest issue was I had horrible credit, maybe like a 650 credit score, which you can barely get approved for a nice vehicle. You could get older vehicle or whatever. But
did you? Sorry to interrupt. Did you need
yeah,
that? So you were doing Uber Premier for a long time, right? And you had gotten the Tesla Model 3. I remember you. It was the
from
Model 3,
Hertz.
right?
Yeah, from Hertz.
Yeah, from Hertz. Now,
Yeah.
to even get that, you didn't have to have good credit or anything, right? Or do
No,
you?
because no, you had to have like a certain level on Uber. You had to do so many trips on Uber to be able to
Got
get the
it.
Tesla through Hertz.
Okay.
You also need a debit card where they can take the money every week and stuff like that. So you
Got
don't
it.
need it for that, but I did need it for to purchase my Model Y. You need good credit, and I was able to find a friend that was good friend enough that he co-signed for me, and I
Oh,
got a
wow.
Model Y. So that was November of last year of 2022 when I got my Model Y, like the end of October, beginning of November. And I was working on my credit, but it's so hard to work on your credit little by little. Then
Sure.
I got offered a Square loan for I think it was like maybe $2,000, and I took it.
How
Square
much were you doing at the time? Do you remember? Because I'm sure that would be,
maybe 4,000, 5,000 a month.
wow. And private clients, which you
It,
had gotten from just meeting people from, doing rideshare, right?
yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
so they offered me that, and it was good because I used it, and this is where you need to know there's good things about the Square loans and there's bad things. It depends how you use it. So when I first got the $2,000, I didn't use it towards building my credit. I didn't use it towards helping me out. I used it just to pay some bills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then what Square does is they take from every sale daily, they take a certain percentage. It could be 10%, 20%, and stuff like that. So if you sell $1,000 in one day, they'll take $200 from that. So that's 20% from all your sales daily to pay off.
Okay.
So it's
Got
not
it.
you don't get a bill like, oh, you got to pay your Square loan, and that's a good thing because a lot of us we get into debt because uh we wait or we miss a bill payment or stuff like
That's
that.
smart. what
Yeah.
they did, it forces you to pay it back. And what is the do you remember what the rate was? Like
So
the
they don't tell you a
APR?
rate. They don't tell you a rate. They tell you, hey, we're gonna give you $2,000, and out of $2,000, you're gonna end up paying $800. So you're gonna pay us back $2,800.
Ooh,
So
okay,
they
that's
don't do a
steep.
percentage. Yeah, they don't tell you a percentage, right? But
Ah,
they hit
but
you
they
hard,
tell you
right?
how much you're gonna pay. So that's pretty
Hundred.
steep. That's like a 40%. But if you don't have, much of
Yes.
a choice, I guess you got to do what you got
Yes.
to do.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. So when I first got my first loan, no problem. I think it was before I started working with you. And then when I started working with Limo marketing, I paid off that loan quick because a lot of transactions was coming in, you know.
Yeah.
And then they offered me, I think my second loan was $5,000 or $6,000. So
Okay.
I took it right away.
And do
Uh,
you remember how much you had to like? Because you just blowed my mind when you said, "Okay, they loan me $2,000. I got to pay back 2,800." Now I get it; it's an unsecured loan,
yeah,
right? Which is very risky for them. That's probably why that's such a large. That's like
a large,
40%.
yeah.
That's insanely high. Do you remember what the 5 or 6 grand was? Was it a less as a percentage or?
See, at that time, I wasn't paying attention yet, right? So I wasn't paying attention. I was just looking at it. Oh wow, that's money. I need the money,
Yeah.
and so I wasn't paying attention. I paid attention to on the third loan that they gave me. So
Okay.
I was able to pay that quick. And then the third loan was $10,000. And that one was I'm paying back $1,500. So it's only a
Okay.
15%.
That's definitely a lot better. Wow.
Yes. So I guess
And you had a
because
good track record at that point. Again,
yes,
you
I
were,
was paying off quick.
but it was forcing you. That's another thing. So in a way,
Yes.
it's kind of good, even though, man, that's a lot that they charge, but
Yeah.
it forces you though. So that's a
Yeah.
good
From the
thing.
$10,000, they were taking 11 or 12% of my sales daily. So once I got the second loan and I used it and they started taking 20%, I was like, man, I need to see what, because now I saw the Limo marketing is working. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is working. I'm
Yeah.
getting a lot of calls for SUVs. So I looked at what's holding me back from buying an SUV, my credit. I already got the income, my credit.
Yeah.
So
Does the Square loan paying it back, since is it technically even,
no, it doesn't
so it doesn't help your credit? Oh,
help your credit at all. It's just basically the business name. So it doesn't help your credit and it doesn't go through you. It just goes
got
through
it.
for the business. So when I was like, okay, what do I need to do to be able to buy an SUV? I need to work on my credit. So I saw what was holding me back was my credit card debts.
Yes.
So I was like, my next Square loan, I'm gonna use it just to pay off all my credit cards.
Yeah.
So once I got offered the 10,000, I took it, I paid off all my credit cards, and my credit score went up from basically 650 all the way to 720. And
Wow. And that was probably a smart financial move because I'm guessing the APR on credit cards is like what, 20%
yes,
plus,
yeah,
and you were only doing
24.
15% on that one loan. So you're like consolidating. Very
Yeah.
nice. Okay.
So my credit score went up, and I was able to buy a SUV. So if you use it smart, uh, it's good. But if you're just going to get that money and spend it on regular bills,
Yeah.
you're not going to use it for advantage to elevate yourself to the next level.
Yes.
It's not good because now you're getting $1,000 of transaction, but then like Square is going to charge you their processing fees. They're
Yeah.
going to charge you the 20%. So in the end, out of $1,000, you're only getting like $600, $700.
Yeah.
So if you're going to use it, make sure that you have money on the side from the same Square loan. Keep money on
Yeah.
the side because there's going to be days that you might need to grab some money because you're
Yeah.
going to be paying off 20% every
Yeah.
day. 20% might not sound like a lot, but when you have the Google ads, when you have
Yes.
insurance, when you have all this, 20% is a lot.
No, totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
that adds up.
Yeah. So this works out for um like if you have great credit and you could go to the bank and get a loan, this is not for you.
Yeah,
But if you're
totally. Because the APR, what you're going to
yeah,
pay is much higher. But I
but
guarantee you a ton of people are in the position you were in, right?
exactly. So if you're coming from Uber and Uber Black and stuff like that, and one of the biggest struggle is the vehicles or the credits or trying to get a second vehicle and stuff like that, like one of the biggest problem is the credit score, the income is not going to be a problem because you're already getting income. you're making
Yeah.
money. I was making $25,000 a month, but my credit score wasn't great. So
Yeah.
like I would have to put a big deposit down, you know?
And how do you work? So the issue was the credit card balances, right? And so this allowed you, yeah, to just consolidate all of those, pay them all off, and that boosted it that much, right? Just by paying them
Oh
all off.
yes. Yeah, by
Wow.
paying them all off, like it just went 100. It basically went up a lot. Like my TransUnion went up close to 100. All the other ones went up like 70 or 80, and it was perfect. Like I was like, wow, I was amazed how quick it went up. Like in a month's time, like I had great credit. So I waited another month for it to like really report in my credit, and then
Yeah.
I went and bought a Yukon XL. It's a 2021, a used one, but
Yeah.
like I said, I'm starting out, I didn't want to get into a big debt, like paying two
No,
thousand
that's all
dollars
you
a month.
need, right? I
Yeah,
mean, you don't need a
because
new Escalade.
My Yukon is costing me close to 1,000 a month, and then on top of that, I'm spending about $2,000 a month in gas. So that's another bill of $3,000 a month.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so that's a big debt, but I'm able to keep a lot of clients in home. So like I don't have to affiliate to other clients, to other limo companies. So that's
Yeah.
helping a lot. Yeah. So it's making the money that it needs to make to pay itself. And so
Yeah. And so I'm guessing there probably wasn't any special equation you used or anything. You probably just noticed, or maybe you started doing the math. You're like, okay, I'm starting to farm out because you had a Model Y, right? Or you
yeah,
still have
I
you
still
still
have it.
have
Yeah.
it, which that one, and we talked about this on the last video, but the expenses, it's mainly your payment, right? Because the charging's relatively inexpensive.
Yeah. So charging is not that expensive for me. I might spend maybe 200, maybe right now I'm spending about $20 a month in charging. I use the free chargers. So
10 times cheaper. Wow, that's crazy than the Yukon, you know?
yes. So I'm like, man, if Tesla or any of these electric company can make a big SUV like a Yukon
Oh
electric,
man.
I'll be honest. They'll take my money. How much? 150,000? Here, take
Yeah,
it.
whatever. Cause yeah,
Yeah.
you're saving a few grand a month easily.
Yeah.
And so you're probably getting, I don't know what percentage of your leads you couldn't actually do. Cause how many will a Model Y comfortably, seat with luggage? I
Two.
mean, two?
Two
Yeah.
with yeah, like two with nobody sitting in the front seat. It could be three with somebody sitting in the front seat.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm guessing if you really sharpen your pencil and they want a deal, you'd be like, hey, I didn't do it. Someone's going to be in the front seat. And if all they care about is like, hey, that's fine. We just want, the best rate possible,
Yeah.
then fine. But you're having to farm out probably a decent number of jobs then, right?
Yeah, like right. I have some drivers calling me, coming not sending no more jobs. That had SUVs. Like,
They're like, damn it, did you have to get that Yukon?
yeah, yeah. It's like, man, you want to grow, you have to. So I have a full-time driver as well. So I have
No. Wait,
yeah.
what? Okay.
So
Duh. I mean, yeah, you can't drive two cars. And
so
so,
I have a full-time driver, and I have the Model Y that we just switch cars. Like whatever the schedule is that day.
dude, you
So
went from driving Uber Premier,
I'm sorry.
like, you went from driving Uber Premier to like fast forward a year later and with bad credit to now have two vehicles. You've hired someone. Where'd you find them? Was it someone who's doing, I'm guessing, Uber Premier that you met? And you're like, hey, this is more kind of steady, or how is that working? Are they full time, or are they just like
Yeah,
30
so
hours a
they're
week?
full-time. He still does a little bit Uber on the side whenever I don't have that much jobs. But
Sure.
I've been really busy lately, so I pay him hourly, and then he also keeps all the tips. So, and
Nice.
a lot of my clients are really good tippers, so he's very happy with that too.
Awesome. That's
Yeah, so
cool.
that's working out a lot better. And once I got the Yukon, my old boss, like I was telling you, like he's a friend, but he's also my old boss. He
Yeah.
saw it and he texted me. He's like, "Oh, nice. Whose name is it under?"
That's got to feel good, man. It's got to
So I
feel
was
pretty
like, "It's under
good.
my name,"
Yeah. And
So
so was
you're gonna
that
have people that always gonna hate on you. So by me
sure?
saying like, it felt good telling him it's under my name. So
Yeah.
I didn't need a cosign at this time.
What a question. Whose name is on it? That's got
Yeah.
to, it's stuff like that I feel like, yeah, feels better than anything, because was that the first vehicle you bought or financed where you didn't have a cosigner?
Yeah, exactly. Like all my
Wow.
other vehicles, I needed like a cosigner. So this is the first one, like it's all me,
Yeah.
so
And that's going to help you probably get even better credit because you're like,
yeah,
paying
paying,
regular
yeah,
payments and wow,
yeah.
that's
So like I said, the square loans are good if you know how to use them, and if you already have like a plan, because
yeah.
paying 20% of your sales, it's a lot. And like I said, it might not sound like it, but it's a lot. And when you do
Oh,
the math, like
totally.
wow, yeah, like you have like a $10,000 loan and you pay it off like in a month and a half. You're like, whoa, like you will never do that. But with the square loan, the way they set it up is really good. Like I believe like my next loan, they probably give me, who knows how much, but
Yeah.
I'm
Just
trying not
lower
to
and
use it.
lower, right? I mean, I'm
Yeah,
assuming because it's all about do you have a good track record? And so
yeah,
far you've repaid all of them. But again, the beauty of what they're doing and whoever thought of it's brilliant. It's
yeah,
genius. A lot of people have these issues and it forces you to pay it back, right?
yeah, yeah. Forces you to pay it back, no question asked. Like, nah, oh, can I pay it tomorrow? No, it just comes right off.
Yeah, no, you're not going to get you're not going to get your money unless you start paying it back. It's funny that you mentioned this because I actually have clients that a few clients, when you have, over 100 like we do, you always have a few that kind of have issues with payments. And
Yeah,
I'm guessing they're in a similar situation. They need something like this to where it forces them to pay it back because, I get it. Like you get all that money and then you're like, hey, I'll deal with that problem later. I'll deal with that bill later. And it's like, hey, eventually that bill's going to come due. And, you know,
yeah.
um,
So the way Square does it is, I mean, it's so smart. It's like, well, we're your processing system, so we pay you. The money comes
yeah,
to us, and we pay you. So we just take our money up front, and then
yeah,
we give you your money. So that's very smart. It protects them. That's why it
totally.
doesn't require a lot. It only requires you to make 10,000 in 1 year for you to get the first loan.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
And so, yeah, the first one was 2. The next one was 5 or
five,
6.
six. Yeah,
And then each one, it sounded like the percentage was lower and lower. Cause yeah, that first one, if they were all
yeah,
like 40%, like you were probably like, damn, I don't have much of a choice though, right?
yeah. Like, I was like, I need a little bit of money, so I took it. But yeah, maybe probably a lot of people know about it, like the U Square to do private rides, but just be smart. See what you really need it for. Don't pay your bills with it. Try to get the good credit so you could upgrade your business and have more income. Because having the SUV, I have more expense, but I have way more income now. So I'm
Totally.
able to pay another driver now. So it's good.
And if you don't mind me asking, what sort of percentage can you expect? And I'm sure obviously the better your credit, the better it is. But like now, do you know approximately when you take out a business loan with a bank, is it 10, 12? Because it's a high interest rate environment, you know, right now, more than
Mhm.
any time. So I know just for like the mortgage rates are like 7.5%. So I'm guessing the bank's got to be higher than that. Um, do you know approximately what,
Percentage,
they,
you mean for the car?
yeah, well, obviously it's a car loan, right? That you
Yeah.
took out. Yeah. For the car, what are those that 9, 10, 12,
Yeah, yeah. Like
14?
I got like I should have went with a better game plan. I was so excited about getting the Yukon. I went to like I think I got 10.5%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's believable, man. I mean,
yeah,
if mortgage rates and if you have really good credit, mortgage rates are still like 7.5. And so
yeah,
it's a few more points than that. But yeah, as time goes on, you'll just get better and better rates, man, as you just you know,
yeah,
keep paying the bills. But yeah, this is super helpful for anyone who just needs to get money to get started. Guys, so we had some audio issues,
mm,
but we were about to wrap up anyways. And so, Julio, what would you say to anyone that's kind of needs help with financing? And go over that warning that we just discussed.
yeah. So the Square, it's really good. I'm using Square now because I'm still a very small company.
Yeah,
Later on, I want to use, maybe through my bank or have a POS system, through
yeah,
that more than going to Square, because Square you pay a high percentage with
yeah,
processing fees and stuff like that. but Square, it's a good system to get you started, and with the loans that they give you, once you have a lot of transactions, it
Yeah.
helps you grow if you use it smart. So don't spend it on things that you don't need, or old bills or stuff like that. Still work hard, get that loan, and figure out what you need to take it to the next level and use that loan for that. So it's just
Yeah.
like upfront money that they're giving you for you to take it to the next step. My first two loans, I used it on stupid stuff. And
Yeah.
maybe bills are not stupid stuff, but uh, I could have used it to improve my business,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
pay off more credit cards. I probably would have had the SUV earlier than now. But just improve your credit, and save up the money from the Square loan so you can put a good deposit down for a vehicle. And yeah,
Totally.
it helps out a lot, the Square loan, even though it's a high percentage.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
awesome, man. Thanks so much. So yeah, if you're needing help with, um, paying for a vehicle, just make sure you're spending that money on the right thing, on
Yeah.
investing in your business, and obviously not dumb things. But this sounds like it's a great option for any of
You
these
know,
guys
it,
that are. Yeah.
yeah, the movie Cinderella Man.
Yeah, yeah, of course, with Russell Crowe.
Yeah. So in Cinderella Man, you see how the mother would give the father more food than the kids.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that's because the father needs to be strong so he could bring more food. So
Yes.
put more money into your business. If you do get the Square loan, use it towards your business, because your business is going to help you pay off those other things. If you pay off your other stuff that you really don't, let's say you pay a light bill, work to pay the light bill. Don't use that money for that, uh, because if you put it towards your business, towards your credit, so you can get more vehicle, you're not going to have to worry about light bills anymore. But if you
Yeah,
use it in things that don't really need it, you're gonna be stuck. Your business is gonna be hungry, and you're gonna be like, you're not gonna have that funding to grow your business.
totally.
That's the way I see it.
And I'm sure, yeah, it's tempting to like, oh, I just want to settle all these up, but you got to invest in things that are going to grow your business. If you're
Exactly.
taking, because this is very expensive money, right?
Yes.
40% is very expensive,
Yeah.
but it might make sense, and it's not going to be over and over. It shouldn't be, but just to get your business up and running, it worked out for Julio. So, yeah, check it out, guys. And
Yeah.
Julio, thanks so much for doing this, man. This is super, super valuable for the whole community. And
Yeah.
we'll have to have you on again because, you've grown quite a bit. Now you're at 2 cars, and
Two
we've
cars,
only been together for what, like 3 or 4 months,
3 or
right?
4 months.
About,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, about three
So,
or 4 months, and I could have got a card earlier if my credit would have been right. You know what I mean? Like, if the
yeah,
business was already calling for it. My credit
yeah.
wasn't right for it. So the Square loan helped out with that. You know. So
Nice.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, Julio, thanks again for doing this. And we'll have to do, I'm sure we're going to do another one hopefully soon where we can maybe go over another topic. And hey, look, for any of you guys watching this video, just let us know in the responses if you're, just starting out. What are some questions you have? What are some things that you might need a little help with? Because look, Julio, he started from the bottom and he's on a
Yeah.
very, very good trajectory. And so,
Yes.
yeah, we'd love some more content ideas, but yeah, I guess we'll see all guys next time. I'll see you next time, Julio. And
Yes.
thanks again for doing this.
No problem. Thank you, Mark.
All right. Bye.